All right, so who is ready to talk about a little epic universe? I got the privilege to go over for the team member preview. My gosh, we have so much to go over, so much I want to share with you guys. It was an absolute amazing experience. I want to let you know in this video, there will be a few spoilers just to let you guys know. So I want to, just give you guys the idea of what the park's like and the experience that I had. Oh man, I don't even know where to begin, but we're just going to get into this. Now, for those of you that are not familiar, maybe you haven't followed social media, or maybe you're not like a huge Universal fan yet, but I want to just give you an idea of the lay of the land in this new park, Epic Universe. You have 5 lands. You have Celestial Park. You have Super Nintendo World. You have Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. That's kind of, based on like the Fantastic Beasts. You also have How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, and then save the best for last, my personal favorite, Dark Universe, based on all the Universal monsters. Holy cow. I'm going to save that for the end because I know it's going to take quite a bit of time to go over that because it was just so awesome. I'll just tell you right away, this park is going to change the face of theme parks. I will repeat that. It's going to change the face of theme parks. It is just so immersive and insane. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's start off right at the beginning. Walking into this park, each land has a portal and the entrance is not excluded in that. You walk through a portal and it's called the Chronos. In the portal up top, it has like this thing that's spinning around. Beautiful music as you enter. You instantaneously getting into that park, you already feel a vibe. There is a excitement. There really is. It's an excitement going into this park. Now, as you go through the portal, the first land that you're gonna, come into is Celestial Park. Now, Celestial Park, from how I, experienced it and on the map how it is, it's basically the middle of the park. That whole middle section is considered Celestial Park, and you have all of the lands kind of surrounding it. So think of like a circle. And in the Celestial Park, they have restaurants. They have a lot of merchandise stores where you can get all the good stuff for Epic Universe. And I was blown away because you have the new hotel in the background, but they have this beautiful like lagoon thing, gorgeous water elements. That was a big thing that I noticed with Epic Universe was they had a lot of cool water elements, and it's just stunning. It's stunning. Also in Celestial Park, it looks like where the roller coaster is. It's like a double roller coaster, 2 roller coasters going at the same time. It looked insane. It's something that I won't actually ever get on, unfortunately, because I don't do that kind of ride. But for you thrill seekers, you'll really like that. But it's very close to the How to Train Your Dragons area. And I did get confused. I was like, wait, is that part of the How to Train Your Dragon? But it's not. It's kind of like to the left of it. But yeah, Celestial Park, it's the space in there. It's so open. That was another thing. Very, very open, very easy to navigate through and just enjoy the area. You guys, it's just that alone is just insanely cool. And you could just stare at the water. And I also noticed while we were there, they are still under construction. Like it's still working because we're like 2 months out before the opening day. So they still were fine tuning stuff, and saw some folks in the lagoon in front of the hotel, and they're working on the water show and all that stuff. So I can't wait for that. That's gonna be something to talk about, just that alone. So we will now get into I'm sure it's going to be quite a few of you's, fan favorite is the Super Mario World. Holy cow, man. This video is going to be so hard, guys, because I'm trying to remember everything, because we weren't able to take pictures, which is fine. But all of this is like from my memory, and it was such a whirlwind going into this park. The excitement, I was losing my mind. And just to let you know, like, I like video games. I like Mario. Like, it's part of my childhood a bit. But I've never really been a huge video game person. I understand it. I get why people love it. Holy cow, walking through the portal in Super Nintendo World, Super Mario World. Talk about immersive. Like, I'm talking, it's crazy. So you go through the portal and you go up escalators. It threw me for a loop. I was like, what's happening right now? And it makes you feel like you're going through the Mario tube. And then when you get to the top, as soon as you walk out, you are in a video game. I can't even understate that. You just get there and there's, the Mario land with the question mark cubes, and you can see the Yoshi ride going. Like, you don't mistake that you're in Super Mario Land, like, you can't, there's nothing else that would give you the illusion that you were anywhere but there. And that was, and this is something that I'm going to tell you guys that goes along with every single aspect in this park. Every aspect. The attention to detail was the craziest I've ever seen. It was like every inch, every little place, it's theming. Absolute theming. So we weren't able, time-wise, we were there for like 7 hours and we just didn't have time to do everything. So we didn't get on the Yoshi ride, but you could see it from when we walked in. But we did go on, I gotta look at my notes and remember the name of the ride. It's the Mario Kart ride. Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. And I'll get to the ride in a second, but walking in the queue, holy schmolies, man. You're walking through the queue. Once again, you have a huge Bowser, statue while you walk in. Everywhere you look is just theming from Mario Kart. And I was blown away. I really was. And like I said, I'm not the hugest Mario fan. Like, I like Mario. But like, I'm not like diehard. And it just blew me away. It actually is one of my favorite lands there, just because of how well everything looked. Now, when we're in the queue, there's things that I feel like Universal potentially didn't have to do, but they did it anyway. They had doors, just like maybe team member doors that they come in and out of, that they could have just kind of, just left the door, no big deal, and everything else is cool themed. But they themed even those doors as Mario. So like I said, everywhere you look, there's no mistaking that you're in Mario Land. Was so much fun. I'll let you guys know, it's not a thrill ride. If you're looking for a thrill ride, that's not really what this is. Kids are gonna love it. Big kids like myself will love it. And it has like a virtual aspect. You put these goggles on and you play a little game, try to collect coins. You have the steering wheel and you shoot the shells like in Mario. And it was so much fun. Like, it was just a fun ride. I don't want to give away too much because I do want you guys to be surprised, but I did want to let you guys know my experience. So I will tell you this as a spoiler that I was really excited about. They did include Rainbow Road in that ride. And Rainbow Road because I play Mario and Mario Kart, and that ride, or that level of Rainbow Road always drove me insane. I loved it. It's like almost like a love-hate relationship with it. But it was beautiful. I love how they, brought that into the ride. But yeah, just a great time. There is one thing I have to tell you that I'm not going to be able to tell you about is the Donkey Kong area. We only had so much time, so we didn't actually make it to the area. Actually, I was leaving like 10 minutes before the park closed because that was the last land that we were able to get into. And as I was leaving, I just kind of peered because I was like, I got to see something. And I like saw through, the little doorway, the Donkey Kong land, Donkey Kong country. And, it hurt me to not be able to go in there, but, next time, because we do have tickets for the second day, not opening, but the second day. But man, you guys, any of you Mario fans, and even if you're not, you're going to lose your mind at what Universal has done with that area, man. Unbelievable. For you How to Train Your Dragon fans, I don't know how you guys feel about the movies. I love them. I think they're underrated. I think they deserve much love, and I'm super happy that they made a land there because I believe that franchise, that trilogy, deserves its own land. And this was like, Mario is amazing, but this was the one when I walked through the portal into this land, the forced perspective that Universal pulled off, incredible. And I'm probably going to use incredible, amazing about 1 million times in this video, but it was. You walk in and there's two 40-foot Viking statues there, and in the background this huge mountain hill or whatever with like a little building on top. It looked like the land was vast and went on for miles, and when you guys go, you'll understand what I mean. I just walked in and it was like, it tricked my brain to think that space was way bigger than it actually is. It was just an incredible feat for them, because what I've learned over time is from, going to theme parks and stuff, that forced perspective, if you're not on, it's just off enough, it won't work. It just won't work. Like, every aspect has to be, they have to be compatible with each other to pull that off. But they did a great job on that. And when you also walk out right there, that water element, it's like the bay of the How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. And they have a big ship in the background, and oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. It's just gorgeous. And then, so we walked around, we didn't do any rides there. They do have a roller coaster that looked pretty fast. We did see that. They have another, it's like a water boat that I actually didn't know until I got there. I asked a team member, what is this ride? And I guess it's, you go on a little boat and you spray each other with water. So, and I asked, I was like, so do you get wet? And he said, oh, you get really wet. So if you have been to Islands of Adventure, the Popeye ride, I don't think it's like that, but in that same vein where you better bring some extra clothes. So that was cool. But while we were walking around, I looked down. So I always look at the little details, the props and things like that. They have these benches. They're gigantic, like out of logs that they carved. I don't know if they hand carved them, machine, or whatever they did. They are gorgeous. I can't imagine how long that it took them to create that, because those are the little things. Those are the little things that Universal did that they didn't necessarily have to do, but they did it just to make you feel like you're completely in that world. And I applaud them, because just building one of these lands, I can't imagine the amount of man hours and the thought that goes into it and all that stuff. I mean, I guess that's why I don't make theme parks, We did end up going into Mead Hall, which is one of the restaurants they have there. That was awesome. The door was like 25 feet high. You go in, it's very grandiose, very Viking. And the chandelier that they had above the thing is gigantic. Trying to remember, but it almost felt like it was the size of a bus. it was just gigantic and wooden and awesome, and a very big hall in that area, and just awesome. And then when we were coming out, they had some of the characters from How to Train Your Dragon, and it was, let me go to my notes here. Excuse me. We met Rough Nut and Tough Nut, the twins. It looked like the characters from the cartoon, and the thing that really got me was in the movie, they have like really big shoes. Like their shoes are almost slightly comical how big they are compared to their body. And that's exactly what they had. That was, I looked down at their feet and I was like, oh my gosh, like that right there. They could have made them normal, but they didn't. They upped the ante and got the, you know, the feeling, that immersion that you feel like you're in the movie. But what a great land. We didn't spend as much time as I wanted to in there, but time was an issue. When we go back, we're definitely I want to try that water boat ride and just kind of peek around a little bit more at the area. Get your wands ready, because it's now time to talk about the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the Ministry of Magic. I will admit, I love Harry Potter. I love Diagon Alley over in Universal. I love Hogsmeade over in Islands of Adventure. Those are great. I'm not gonna lie, I was not super excited about this new land. It just like, because I had seen, you know, pictures, I saw the model that they had on City Walk, and it looked a little bland, I guess, just because it's more based on like the Fantastic Beasts, I guess, you know, kind of thing. But I kind of took back what I thought. When we walked in, if you've been to the other Harry Potters where it's, well, I should say Diagon Alley, more or less. When you walk in and it's kind of like you kind of got to go behind the brick wall, it's kind of hidden. So Ministry of Magic kind of had that going on where you kind of had to walk around and go in that way, which was cool. And it's basically just like New York, but it's very white. There's a lot of white there. And but walking down little shops and things, I think there's more detail there, because I'm gonna have to go back again and really spend more time in this area. But walking in, it was cool. It was very cool. Right in front, they had a circus. Like you go into a circus tent. We didn't get to do this. I'm sorry. We just didn't. The time, man. The time. But they have shows. I think it's like every hour and a half, I believe what it was, because we walked up and it was a 90-minute wait. And I thought you had to wait in line for 90. And they said, no, it's going to be every, you know, like in 90 minutes, the next show starts. But I've heard that's an amazing show. Really, really fun. But what I really want to talk about in Harry Potter was, I got to read the name of it's the Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. This ride was not operating, like I had said previously. Not everything was ready yet. You know, they're still testing stuff. That's the whole purpose, is to kind of bring people in and see how it goes and see what they need to fix and fine tune. The ride wasn't going, but they said, hey, come on into this queue. You're going to want to check it out. And I was like, okay. We walked in to this queue. I'm not going to give too much away, but I will tell you right now, the prettiest, most insanely cool queue I think I have seen at any theme park ever. I am not kidding. I am not kidding. It was so cool. And they have these elements that kind of catch you off guard, and little smoke, little magic that reveals you into this queue area. And it's a big space where you can kind of walk around and enjoy. They have amazing gold statues, and it's just gigantic. It is gigantic. And your mind is going to be blown. Because I had heard about the queue, and I'm like, how cool? I mean, like, cool queues can be cool, but how cool can you really elevate a queue, you know? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And if any of you are watching this and you've already gone for a preview or something, let me know what you thought, because I tried to explain it to my wife Veronica and my kids, and I'm trying to explain it to you guys, and it's almost like I don't have words for it. I don't have words, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful, beautiful queue. And I'm not sure exactly if I'll be able to go on the ride or not. I don't know much about it yet. I got to look into it and see if it's, you know, a little too intense for me. I don't know. But that was basically the area. It does. It makes you feel like you're in New York. You got that New York-y kind of thing, but not quite New York. It's the white New York, I guess. You know, all the buildings are white, but really cool. Very, very cool little area. So I kind of take back what I said. It's not necessarily my favorite. My favorite will be next, which is Dark Universe, but it is a lot cooler than I had initially thought. Okay, it's time. I don't even know how long this is going to take, but Dark Universe is just, it's for any spooky, horror-loving, Tim Burton-loving fans out there. You will geek out. This was the first land that we went to, and this is the land that we spent the most amount of time in. You go through the portal, and you're already getting that Frankenstein vibe with, you know, the electricity, and you already feel it. And then you walk out into this little town. The buildings are super gothic. They're like, we missed stuff when we did a couple rounds in there, and then you got to look up because there was like a skeleton monster hanging from a light post, and the signs, all these details. And when we walked in, this is something that is such a great detail, and something that I feel like other theme parks are not doing as much now. When walking in, they had a character playing the violin. Now, violins, it always reminds me of like Interview with a Vampire and kind of that spooky vibe, but just playing around town. Some of the people she was following around, and it made the area feel alive. Kind of like Frankenstein. It's alive! But yeah, no, like it really upped the ante on that. Also, they had Igor walking around and talking with people. The costume, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I don't even know how to tell you guys all about this, but the costumes that they have at all the lands. But yeah, the costumes that they had at Dark Universe are just so gothically beautiful. And yeah, like that area, they really made it feel alive. And our impression, we thought it was Frankenstein's castle, but it's actually Frankenstein's manor. So I kept calling it a castle, but it's actually a manor. And when you walk around through the town and you see this gothic castle, you really know where you are. You know, you are in a horror land. And it blows my mind to think that no one else had pulled it off, or I guess maybe they thought about it, but they just didn't pull the trigger on it to create Universal created the first like horror themed land in a theme park. Like, I feel like that should have been done years ago, you know? But I think because of this land, you're going to see, I really do think you're going to see more of this at other places. And Universal might even, add some stuff elsewhere, horror themed. So we went into the manor for the ride, and I didn't actually go on the ride, but the folks that I was with, they did. And man, they said it was so good. Monsters Unchained is one of those rides that it's a game changer. If you don't know anything about it, because I had to kind of, dig into it to see exactly what, as I thought it was a roller coaster type thing at first, but it's not. If you've ever been to Harry Potter Forbidden Journey, Universal created this, I have to do it with my hand, but they created this thing where you sit in and it like rotates and moves. And the greatest thing about it, how it moves, it shows you what it wants you to see. So it's kind of like that. But the folks that went on it said it wasn't actually, it's a little intense, but it wasn't as intense as Forbidden Journey. They said it was a little smoother. So I think Universal kind of fine-tuned that ride vehicle and just made it better. They said the animatronics in there, just top notch. They gave it a 9 out of a 10. I didn't press them on why it wasn't a 10 out of a 10, but I'm guessing maybe because not everything was working in there, because they're still, like I said, fine-tuning everything. So I didn't get to see that. I'm going on what, their word. But what I did get to see in the queue is awesome. They have some, vampire stuff, Frankenstein stuff, and then right before you kind of get on the ride, I will tell you this, another spoiler, but I think it's already actually been out in social media. I think Universal already released this part of it. It's not Victor, it's Victoria Frankenstein. That is one of the, she's the character, and she's sitting there talking as we're just staring, listening to the story because they're building up the story. And the next thing you know, she brings out Frankenstein. He's like this 9-foot animatronic that comes tromping out up on the stage. It looked exactly like Frankenstein would look, with movements. And oh my gosh, man, I don't know how they pulled this off. It was perfect. It really was. It really was just perfect. It was scary. It's exactly what, like I said, I would think that Frankenstein would look like and how he would move and everything. Great. So I did get to see a Monsters Unchained animatronic, just not on the ride. The funniest thing was Victoria, when the doors open, where they're, putting you into the locker area where you put all your stuff, to keep moving into the next room. She's like, all right, everybody go. I thought it was funny because Frankenstein's monster, I should say, looks down at the crowd and makes a hand gesture like, get going in there. Get going in there. Which it's just, details, man. These details at this park, it's just mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing. It's going to change the landscape of theme parks forever. Mark my words, I swear. You're going to understand when you go to this park. One thing I actually was looking forward to that we didn't get to experience, and I don't know if it's just they didn't want to run it that day or yet, keep it going because maybe it costs a lot of money. I don't know. Or if they only do it at night or what the case was. But we went into, let me go to my notes, the Burning Blade Tavern. They didn't, the thing that I wanted to see was the windmill on fire. It wasn't even rotating that day and it wasn't on fire. So I guess I'll just have to wait until we actually go on day 2 when it opens, which would be cool. So now it's something that I can be excited about going back to check out. But we did go in the tavern. It's a cool little tavern. It's in a windmill, so it's not gigantic, but they do have a lot of good theming in there. The people I was with said something that I was thinking. Slightly, it kind of looked like the bar to Harry Potter. It had kind of that vibe a little bit. I mean, they had like monstery stuff and all that, but they had but it definitely had a little bit of Harry Potter feel, which I'm totally fine with. I thought it was really cool. And they also had outside seating or like tables, I think. I don't think they had seating, but like some tables because they know it's a smaller area. But Just really cool. We didn't get anything to drink there, but we just went in to check it out. But the next thing that we did, we got a little hungry and a little thirsty. So we went over to Das Steakhouse. This is the restaurant in Dark Universe, and I was looking forward to it. Already going in was like, this is where we gotta eat. We gotta go there. It's a like vampire themed steakhouse. And when it's steakhouse, they mean like the steak in the heart, vampire, a little play on words, which I think is, that's just cool. We went in there and instantaneously, my jaw just dropped. It's like a cave, like a vampire cave, coven, or whatever you want to call it. We walked in there. The chandeliers, you got the light bulbs and then the, I don't know, globes that go around them, whatever you want to call them. They're red, like blood red. And then they had bats on them. They're gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And I did talk to a team member. They actually said those chandeliers were made by someone else, like specifically, like handcrafted, I guess. And it shows, because they're gorgeous. And seeing that, then they have the chairs. And I swear, if I could ever buy one of these chairs, if Universal ever sells these chairs, I'm buying one. They're these like tall wooden chairs with like red, a red fabric on it. But the cool thing about it was there's a huge metal bat on the middle of it, like a metal bat, and then two skulls on the side. Me talking about it doesn't do it justice. You just got to see them in person. And a bunch of monsters on the wall. They had really, really dark, kind of creepy, spooky paintings, and gigantic. The paintings were like 12 feet long. Unbelievable theming in there. You definitely feel like you got to be looking over your shoulder for vampires and stuff, And just so happy that we went there, because we did hear that Das Steakhouse and the Harry Potter restaurant so far have been kind of the favorite. That's been the consensus over the folks that have gone already. And I can't vouch for the Harry Potter one. 100% can vouch for Das Steakhouse. Totally worth it. Totally worth the money. We ended up going in and we got a couple things. Of course, we had to get a steak. We got the steak. And when they bring your steak out, it has steak, potatoes, and some steamed vegetables that all tasty. They come out, they have your steak. It's a slice of steak. And I don't know what it is. I tried to look it up. I don't know what it is, but it was awesome. They take this red liquid, it's supposed to look like blood, and pour it all over your steak. And the steak was delicious. And once again, little details like that to make you feel like you're in a vampire restaurant. So yeah, that was, I will get that again for sure. Actually, everything on here I would get again. Also got the bird on a stick. It's basically chicken kind of on a, like a shish kebab kind of chicken thing. That also came with potatoes and vegetables, and the chicken had like a chimichurri kind of sauce on it. Really, really good. I love that. The steak was my favorite though. Then we also got it is the Darkmoor Black Wings. It was a spicy chili. This is how it's described. A spicy chili dusted like fried chicken. But for those of you that aren't into spice, it wasn't really that spicy. Truthfully, it really wasn't. At least the one that we had. It was super tasty. Love that. But the thing I love out of that dish, what it comes with, it's a pimento cornbread in the shape of a skull. And it's just clever. You got the skull thing, but it was delicious. One of the best cornbreads I've ever had personally. It was like, had a really good sweet flavor to it and just delicious. It complemented the chicken really, really nicely. Then after we had our delicious dinner in this fantastic restaurant, we wanted to go check out some merchandise in the shops they had that we went into. They had one little shop that was really cool, and you got to look for. They have these little monsters. They're like this big, and a couple of them escaped in the store. So you got to look for them. They might be up. They might be hiding around, and fun little things like that that I wouldn't have known, but I had a team member tell us about it, which I was like, oh, that's awesome, man. Little stories within the story, which is always fun. I think that adds to the fantasy that you're putting yourself into. And then we went to the bigger store, which is it's inside of the Monsters Unchained Frankenstein Manor to the right side. Went in there, and the merchandise was awesome. I grabbed a few things. I'm not going to show any of that stuff because they haven't opened yet, and we're trying to respect Universal because I know they want a big reveal, and it's just not right to show stuff that's not out there yet that they haven't even shown. So I'm not going to show you that, but I got some cool stuff later on. I'll do a little merch haul, once they open and just show you the stuff that we picked up that day, that I picked up that day. But there is one thing that I can show you merch-wise that it's already out there. It's already been shown in Hollywood, the Hollywood Super Mario Land that I had to get. And I actually bought it for my lovely wife, Veronica. We got the Mario Kart popcorn bucket. How cool is this thing, man? I was excited about it. Like I said, I'm not the hugest, Mario fan. I love Mario. I like Mario, but I'm not infatuated, but I am infatuated with this. It lights up. Look at this thing, man. I mean, come on. Look at that. How cool is that? They have, just in general, just across the board, popcorn buckets. They've literally I don't even feel like they're popcorn buckets anymore, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay. I'm okay. In the back here, I guess, is where you put the popcorn, but I'm like, what is that, a half a cup of popcorn? But it's all good. It's all good because you just get to enjoy this, And just to let you know as well, any pictures that we're showing you guys today, the pictures of me in the park with the portals, those were taken by team members at Universal. Totally, legal, because like I said, we're trying to follow the rules and make sure we're not disrespecting Universal, because we love Universal, And the other photos that we've shown are all ones that have already been put out in social media and approved by Universal and whatnot, So, because we just want to give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about, because not always, like myself, I can't always visualize stuff in my mind when somebody's telling me. It's a lot easier to kind of have something to look at. So, but man, what else can I say about Epic Universe? It is exactly what the name says it is. It's not just a clever name. It lives up to the hype. Man, it is epic. It is outstanding, beautiful, phenomenal. It will become so many people's favorite park. I swear. I can't even, I truthfully don't believe I'm overhyping it at all. Everybody that I've talked to about it, I'm not worried about getting their hopes up and then kind of being like, oh, it's not as good as you said. No, trust me. It is as good as I've said, or any other person that's been there that's talked about it, because it jaw-droppingly awesome. So kudos, Universal Studios. You have made an impact, man. You have definitely made an impact, and people are going to love this park. They are, and they're going to pick their favorite lands, and they're just going to keep coming back. I know there's going to be folks that were never Universal fans, never really went to Universal, and they're probably interested in the new park, and they're going to try it out. And I can almost guarantee you, boom, like that, they're going to become Universal Studio fans like me and a lot of other people. So, But that's my review, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. We will definitely be doing a video when it opens, and we do a bunch of other stuff. We go to Universal and do videos over there as well. So if you're interested in any of that, you want to check out any of our other videos, yeah, we'd appreciate it. We hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching. Till we see you next time, guys. Remember, there's only one way to live. It's in the moment with Epic Universe. Woo!